Hey Airsofters, this is Optic. Basically what I'm doing now, I'm going to give you all a little tutorial on the Party Popper Claymore. It's a pretty crude design, but it works. Basically designed this by accident. A friend of mine handed me a Party Popper and was like, hey, maybe you can put BBs in this. Once I realized it was spring-loaded, well, it took form. Like I said, these are pretty crude, but they're absolutely workable. Look inside here. You can press that little thing right there. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I've set it up with screw eyes, as you can see. And here's what you connect to right there. This little guy right here, he slides up and down. Once you set it for about a hair trigger. Then when someone comes by, pulls, pops, it's a done deal. This one is very sturdy. This is very rigid right here. You can barely crush it. These suck. You can see right here, you can squeeze these. That's no good. So if you'll notice, I had to basically duct tape all around here with Gorilla Tape, and I suggest using Gorilla Tape because it's strong. This tends to not be as reliable, but once you set it and set it over for a hair trigger, the rest of the pull should take place. I'll show you how to deal with that. Basically what you're going to need is some wood. I went and got some of this stuff right here. It's like what, 1x6, something like that, and had it cut down. Alright, then I got these little spikes. Alright, these are like 35 cents. I use the same spikes for the pull string. Basically just put your spike on either side, duct tape it all up, and get your platform ready. That's about how that goes. Now, to show you, the Party Popper, however which way you want it to go, will sit flat, and that's not good because you cannot turn your dial when this thing is slammed flat. So what you're going to have to do is make a riser for it. Like, you know, put it up, elevate it. How I do this, it's pretty slum, but you could take a regular piece of, you know, cardboard. Cardboard would be really good. I use paper, you know, fold it over. Get your Gorilla Tape, tape that up a couple times to where it's thick, right? And then you go ahead and tape that to your Party Popper. So now it's basically elevated. I know this is really slum the way I'm showing you how to do this. I'll probably do it real in a minute, clip and edit and whatnot. But that's basically all you're going to need. You're going to need some wood, some lawn spikes, some string. I use these at first. These are real clean right here. Clip on, clip off, very strong. I use cheaper ones and they tend to just break. You're going to need you some of this stuff right here. This is some good little wire. You can find this in the hanging department, like for what do you call it, pictures and mirrors and stuff like that. And then of course I got some screw eyes. Screw eyes are pretty good for anything really. And then to make it just one hair bit more sturdy, once I set it in place right here and it's all been taped up and looks like, you know, that, I took a conduit strap. I think this is a 1.5 inch conduit strap. Now see, once you get everything thick and in place, this guy, you screw him into place. Bam, just like that. And then, let me show you, this will be ghetto with it. Now, what's messed up is you're going to have this mechanism spin right here. So that, as you can see, I used screw eyes to do that. Again, this one is sturdy, this one is not. But the principle is, you just screw it in. Okay, but you're going to want to, if you find the flimsy Party Popper like this, that can be squeezed, you're going to want to Gorilla Tape this end a few times. Get it more sturdy, more rugged. Then, when you put your screw eye in, boop, you want to glue it in. I've glued all these in. If you can look, I've got a mess of glue going on in here. But that sucker is strong and it is not going anywhere. And even on my flimsy ones, it's very strong. I'm going to show you how to arm these things. Hang on one second. Alright. To arm, be real with you, it's a pain in the butt, man. Let me see if I can find a good place to set this up and arm it up for you. Okay, I don't know if you can see this very well, but basically what you got to do is push this in, and it hurts your fingers because this is a very tight spring. So either with your thumb or 4 fingers, you got to try to get this guy in here and turn it to lock it in place. And this should really be a pain. As you can see, I can't get it off the first time. Okay, there she is. She's locked into place. Okay, now once your spring is locked into place, and as you can see down in there, you have now a reservoir where you could fill BBs up. Now, I don't know if you can see, you see the dial there? See how it's kind of straight across? Alright, well what you want to do is set that for a hair trigger. I'll show you, hold up. I'm just kind of slum the way I'm doing this, fellas, I'm sorry. Alright, this is how you set the hair trigger. Okay, once you're in place, you got your string ran and everything's ready to go, you're going to turn this guy to an almost ready to trip position. See how I turn that? Okay. Now if all goes well, when you pull that string, it's going to pop. Let's see if I can get it to do it for you. Let me show you. Sorry. Okay. Once he's in place, you ready? Alright. Pull. Alright. Now you can hear that spring was pretty dang loud. But, believe it or not, on the flimsy party popper, man, this spring is truly powerful. But this being flimsy is very hard to set by putting your fingers in there. You can see the quality of this is just mad cheap. So what you got to do is actually break down the party popper. Now this is real fun. I'll show you how to do this. Hold up. Yep. Oh man, what a good shot. Okay, this sucks, fellas. But what you're gonna have to do is pull this off. Just like that. It's a lot of work, but this is how you do it. There's your spring. Maybe you could stick that in a AEG or something. I don't know. That was a pitiful joke. Alright. Now, you see you get the same kind of setup there, right? So, you want to just go and set it in, and it's not that easy. Again, it is a spring, and it's a pain in the butt. Alright. Okay. Now, once you're set, you'll notice. See these little, see that little groove right there? There's a little groove in there. You gotta line that groove up with the grooves in there. No problem. Oops. That was a problem. This is probably the most ghetto tutorial you're ever gonna see from somebody, but hey, that's me. I don't care. As long as it's effective. Okay. Now, your spring is set, locked, and loaded. Again, you go through that same process of the hair trigger. Bam, bam. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to show you how this works. Alright, we're outside. Now, you got your claymore. You got your ammunition. You got your stick. Now, sometimes, depending on the ground, you're going to have to use a hammer to get this in. But in soft ground, you can call it duty. It's just jam that guy in the ground as far down as you can. See? It's nice and, you know, move some stuff out the way. You know, then you can cover it up and all that good stuff. Damn, I probably messed up here. Alright, now you want to set your spike. I'll tell you one thing you want to make sure of when you're setting these guys is that your wire here is able to pull that. And if it's good and you feel it's a hair enough trigger set, you see how far I set that? I want to make sure you spit on it, it's going to pop. Now, with the class system, It's really cool. Now this is a little heavier gauge, but it works nice. Alright, just do like so. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. But you put that guy in there right there. And a little Claymore thing works well with a few people. Well, two, I mean. That way you can get your stuff set pretty fast. You see your line right here. And what you're going to want to do is camouflage this line. You want to spray paint it. Do whatever you got to do to make sure this thing's heading. Now once it's really tight, alright, start to dial back a little bit. Get that tension in there as much as possible. Then stab her in the ground. Spin a little more if you have to. I mean, it's trial and error to get it right. It takes a minute to really get used to how these guys work. Now either this will go off and be great, or it's going to be a fluke. Sometimes it's a fluke. Depends on how you set them. You got to get really good at setting these things. Doesn't take too long to do it though. Yeah, let me sit it down right here. Alright, now let's fill it up with ammo. You know, and I would suggest the cheapest BBs you can, the lightest possible, the better. Alright, hopefully the sticker briar stuff I'm playing in doesn't give me poison ivy. Alright, now let me see if I can get you a good proper shot of this going down for real. God, if I could set it right there, that would be beautiful. I need somebody to hold this sucker for me. Alright, check it out. I'll make do. That's what Alright. There she is. She's set. I'm gonna trip it.